You ever wonder what's really going on inside your head? You know, when you make a snap judgment or you're wrestling with a tough decision? Well, in this explainer, we're diving into Daniel Kahneman's totally groundbreaking book, Thinking Fast and Slow. We're going to pull back the curtain on the two secret agents that are basically running the show in your mind all the time.
All right, to get things started, let's try a quick little puzzle. Just read the question up on the screen. A bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat costs exactly $1 more than the ball. So, how much does the ball cost? Don't overthink it. Just go with the very first answer that pops into your head. You got it? Okay. If you're like most people, and I'm talking over half the students at places like Harvard and MIT, the number that probably jumped into your mind almost instantly was 10 cents, right? It feels right.
But that quick, easy, intuitive answer, it's wrong. And the reason why it's wrong is fascinating, because it reveals this little glitch in how all of our minds work.
The correct answer is actually 5 cents. And yeah, let's do the math real quick. If the ball is 5 cents and the bat is $1 more, that makes the bat $1.05. Add them together and you get exactly $1.10. So this brings us to the real question.
Why does such a simple puzzle trip up so many really smart people? Look, it's not about being bad at math. It's because our minds have two completely different ways of operating. Kahneman calls it a psychodrama with two main characters. So let's meet these two characters. Kahneman gives them really simple names, System 1 and System 2. These two are the stars of the show inside your head, and they're constantly interacting to shape every single thought, judgment, and choice you make. And this chart here, it just lays out their personalities perfectly. System 1 is your gut reaction. It's fast, automatic, totally intuitive. It's the part of your brain that reflexively shouted 10 cents a minute ago. Then you've got System 2. It's the complete opposite, slow, deliberate, and analytical. It's the one that could have checked the math, but, and this is a big but, as Kahneman points out, System 2 is also pretty lazy.
And that laziness is absolutely key. System 2 is supposed to be the boss, the supervisor, right? But it takes a lot of effort to get it going. So most of the time, it just goes along with whatever easy, intuitive suggestions System 1 throws at it. But every now and then, take a look at this. This is the famous Mueller-Lyer illusion. Which of those two horizontal lines looks longer to you? It's the bottom one, right? I mean, it's totally obvious. But just like our little bat and ball problem, what seems obvious is actually wrong. If you were to take a ruler and measure them on your screen, you would find they are exactly the same length. This isn't just a trick. It's what's called a cognitive illusion. And this quote just brilliantly illustrates that power struggle happening inside our heads. Your conscious, rational mind, that's your System 2, knows the lines are equal. You can prove it with a ruler, but you still can't stop your automatic System 1 from seeing one as longer. That intuitive impression is just that powerful. You know, you can actually feel this conflict yourself. Try this little task. Your goal is to go down the column on the right and just say whether each word is in upper or lower case. It's way harder than it looks, isn't it? That feeling of mental strain, that's your lazy System 2 kicking into high gear, having to fight your automatic System 1, which just wants to read the words. And all that mental effort, it's not free. Kahneman calls this ego depletion. Think of your self-control like a muscle. It gets tired when you use it. It's the reason why, after a long, hard day of making difficult decisions at work, you're so much more likely to just skip the gym and order a pizza. Your System 2 is exhausted, leaving your impulsive System 1 to take the driver's seat. But the influence of our automatic mind goes even deeper, and frankly, gets a little weird. This brings us to one of the most surprising ideas in the entire book, priming. This is where we see System 1 acting like a hidden puppeteer, pulling strings that we don't even know exist. To put it simply, priming is when being exposed to one thing, say a word or an image or an idea, subtly influences how you react to something else later on. And the kicker is, all of this happens completely unconsciously. It's your System 1 making all these invisible connections in the background. Here is a stunning real-world example. In an office kitchen, some researchers put up a poster over the honesty box where people paid for coffee. Some weeks it was a poster of flowers, and other weeks it was a poster of watching eyes. The results were just astounding. On the weeks with the eyes, people paid nearly 3 times as much. A simple, symbolic reminder of being watched was enough to prime more honest behavior. Wild.
And this phenomenon is just everywhere once you start looking for it. In one study, they had students read words associated with old age, like wrinkle or Florida, and those students actually walked more slowly down the hall afterwards. In another, just being subtly reminded of money made people act more selfishly. And then there's what's called the Lady Macbeth effect, where people who are prompted to lie are then more likely to want cleaning products, as if they could literally wash away the stain on their soul.
Now remember, priming is a completely unconscious process. It all happens inside System 1. You don't feel it happening, you have no idea it's influencing you, and that is precisely what makes it so powerful. It kind of reveals that we might be strangers to ourselves in ways we can't even begin to imagine.
So, what's the takeaway here? Are we just puppets of our automatic minds? Well, not exactly. The real goal is to get better at thinking about thinking itself.
The point isn't to get paralyzed by self-doubt and never trust your gut again. I mean, System 1 is incredibly useful. It's what lets you drive a car without thinking about every little movement. The key is to recognize the situations where System 1 is likely to mess up, like with the bat and ball puzzle, and learn when to consciously hit the brakes and engage your lazy System 2. Ultimately, what Kahneman really wants is to give all of us a better, richer language to talk about how our minds work. When you can spot System 1 thinking in a meeting, or you understand a priming effect you see in an ad, you're just better equipped to understand your own choices and the choices of everyone around you.
So I'll leave you with this one thought. Right this second, your fast, intuitive System 1 is constantly writing a story to make sense of the world. The real question is your slow, deliberate System 2 paying attention to the details? Or is it just lazily signing off on the first draft?